Last year I went to Goa and I was amazed at the health infrastructure there. I went to the government hospital, and what really blew me away was that everything was free for Goan residents. Even if someone is diagnosed with cancer and has to undergo chemotherapy, that is free. Is that something that is viable?
Yeah, but the population of Goa is still 2 million, right?
Exactly.
And they have one medical college in which they have increased the seats from 60 to 80 to 100 to something like 150. Most Goan graduates don't know what to do because there are more doctors than they are needed. So you have all these rules by which locals get admissions and so on. And again, policy, because they are going to set up a private medical college there. We certainly don't need one, but they're going to set up one. Because the government says they will give 200 crores for every district hospital, which will be upgraded on a private-public partnership. So who gets a private partnership? Some Maharashtrian politician who has interest in private education. So, the models, I don't know. I don't think that policy makers really sit and think about health. I think a lot of policies comes down to numbers.
Sure.
So just the other day I was having a conversation with a colleague of mine who's very well known and in the private, he's always worked in the private sector. And we're talking about something. And I said about these private medical colleges again, because of this Ukraine business, a lot of demand that they should all be accommodated, all those whatever, few thousand students, and how there isn't enough seats. So they keep quoting the number of 1 per 1,000 doctors one doctor per 1,000 population as per WHO. So what's our population? 1,350 million. So how many doctors do we need? We want 1.35 million doctors. How many do we have? On all the registries together, we already have 8 lakhs. So if you have 100,000 seats per year, in 5 years or whatever, we will have the deficiency will be filled. Then what do all the graduates do after that? Knee-jerk kind of responses.
Sure.
There's because of the way, things have drifted, 5-year plans were condemned as very bad. But we need a 20-year plan. It's not just 5 years, You need to have a rollout which every party agrees to, that there are some things in which the party doesn't matter. It's the people who matter.
Absolutely.
But I think we are not matured enough.
So given your vast experience, Dr. Sita, do you see a silver lining for the medical field in India?
I'm not really in the people who, not involved very much in there. At the moment, I'm in a phase when I'm not seeing a lot of silver. But I hope it will come through, the rays will come out.
Sure.
Sure. Yeah, but it takes I certainly thought that COVID and the COVID experience will change the outlook towards public health and the need for, peripheral, the strengthening an external factor which put pressure on us was that, what was it called? The UN 2015 goals. I forget the name of those goals. You had to decrease maternal mortality to this, and one half of UN had set up, what were they called? I forget the name. They had these goals which all the member states signed up to. So that actually drove the government of the time to set up this National Rural Mission, NRM. And they put in a lot of money, and that is when these ASHA schemes came in to man the peripheral units. And a lot of efforts were made, and we have made a lot of progress in maternal mortality, infant mortality, and a lot of other parameters. Life expectancy has gone up. And there were a lot of attempts. But, in spite of the COVID experience and the need for strengthening peripheral medical care, you see the last budget, there's nothing for health. There's no talk of public health. If you get a public health degree, you're still struggling for a job because there are no positions for public health officials. So I mean, it can't be fragmented. There has to be a holistic approach. And I think that unless there is a commitment from everybody that health is not a privilege, it's a right.
Non-negotiable.
It's not negotiable, and it is a fundamental right. I mean, your right to breathe, the right to speak, you have to have the right to health. And
Absolutely.
that I can afford to get anti-cancer treatment and somebody else cannot because they can't afford it. I mean, it is not acceptable. I don't think.
Absolutely.